All right, so today we have Frank Ammons. Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
Frank Ammons, and we'll just kind of go over your little business that you had going on, and kind of go from there. So, if you want to just start and just kind of tell me who you are, what kind of business do you have? I think I think you had a couple businesses, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I have coaching business as well as some, home service businesses as well. Yep.
Which one's like your main one?
Well, I mean, depends on the situation, but I mean, I have a home service business. I don't really operate that business. I have a team that does that. My coaching business, where I coach people how to create and generate their own leads and build their marketing systems. That's the one I'm most passionate about. The home service businesses are really, good businesses because we do a little unique. We do all remote. Like for example, we have a water filtration business completely remote over the phone and text message. So, and I have a team running that for me. So, not a hands-on thing, but the coaching business, man, it's my driving passion.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I saw like 'cause I know we're friends on Facebook, and it looks like you kind of work with high level a little bit, some of the AI.
Yeah, well, we use high level. We've customized it. We use plugins as well. I mean, some of their services we use, and some of them are a little limited. So we have some custom AI plugins that we use with Go High Level. But yeah, I use Go High Level for pretty much everything, every business out there that I'm involved in, coaching, some AI services as well. It's all my home service business as well.
Yeah, for sure. I use high level too. That's actually one of my main CRMs, and I'm also like going all in on AI,
Yeah,
like for home service business specifically, roofers. Well, what kind of home service company do you have?
water filtration.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. Yeah, you sent me a link to that. Is that a pretty good business to get into?
I mean, it's been great for us. I mean, the thing is I had no experience with water filtration at all. Never sold it before. And we were able to generate about 1.1 million in revenue this year, just with a small team, all remote over the phone. And we use Go High Level, a custom Go High Level to generate the leads as well as, create the estimates and schedule people, the whole thing.
Yeah, for sure. That's awesome, man. You're like a serial entrepreneur, huh?
Yeah, I don't like cereal, but I'm a serial entrepreneur.
That's funny. Uh, so you got water filtration, coaching. What exactly do you do on the coaching?
The coaching, I'm a big believer in generating your own leads versus hiring an agency or, even a freelancer. That way you have, if you do have to hire a freelancer or even someone internally, or even, God forbid, a marketing agency, you at least know the parameters and the touch points that make it work, instead of someone blowing smoke. Anybody who's watching this, or maybe even you, I know I have, we've been burned by people who quote unquote can, get you leads or help you with your advertising or marketing. And that's pretty, like, I don't know what the percentage is, but I mean, everyone I talk to has been burned at one point in their entrepreneur journey.
I would say
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. So what I do is I've simplified creating your own ads as well as generating your own leads down to the very, very minimum, down to the studs, if you will, so that people can just take actionable steps and generate leads. And my big, bold claim is I'll help you generate leads more than you can handle, right? Because I've simplified it. I don't get into the too crazy tech of, you need a pixel, you need this, you need that, you need all these landing pages. I make it simple and maximize those simple steps, and we use tools like AI to help generate stuff. But, the everyday person, if they're looking to get more leads, that's what I coach you to do. I don't have an agency myself. I don't want to manage your ads. I will coach you how to launch your own ads, generate your own leads. And that alone right there is the main skill. If you don't do already, that will change your business forever. Like literally, I know it's a big, bold claim, but just imagine, Brandon, if you had more leads than you can handle, if that was the case, what would you do? You'd have to build a team. You'd have to you'd have to make sure you have enough space in your bank account because you're making more money. You would be able to scale. You'd have more time, more freedom. Really, leads is the number one thing. The lack of leads is the number one killer of business. It's the
Yeah,
number one killer of business. I mean, think about it. If I have customers who can pay me, I don't necessarily need funding because that's money's coming from them.
Hmm.
right? A lot of people say, "Well, I don't got enough money." Well, if you have enough customers who paying you, you got enough money.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
so that's what I teach people to do. How do you generate your own leads? And then the other thing, people are like, "Well, I don't got enough time." Well, listen, this is the best. If you are lacking leads or need more, the best thing you can do with your time is to learn this. And even if at the point down the road where you can hand it off, at least again, you know the key indicators to look for, so
Hmm.
that you know if you're hiring someone, they're not full of crap. They know exactly, like, they follow your process. So I have a unique way of teaching. I have strategies that work. I've spent over $5 million in Meta ads since 2017, and you don't spend that much of money unless you're making money off of it.
Exactly. Yeah, for
So
sure.
that's what I teach people to do. That's my coaching, really down to the point,
Hmm.
right?
What kind of people? Go ahead.
I was going to say, if I'd love to share any of the tips if you're interested in that, to share with people, because I give it away. I don't charge for it. The only thing I charge for is if you want me to set it up for you so you can just plug and play. I don't manage ads though, right? So I just set it up for you, and then you hit go, and then I coach you beyond that if you want, right? If you want me to coach you and my team help you to generate the leads and follow through the leads and help you with a sales process, that's what I do.
That's really interesting because I'm kind of, I'm not in the ads world so much anymore, but I was, just because I got tired of, you know, roofers and HVAC companies. They want leads for $10. Like they
Yeah,
want high quality leads, and because they've been burned, right? That's
right.
that's what they're promised, but it's just not what the case is. And I just like, I'm not doing that anymore unless it's for me,
Yeah.
because I don't know. That's just my opinion, but I'm kind of interested to know about the coaching. Like, what does that process look like if somebody comes on board? Do you give them all the templates, the ad creatives? Do you give them the ad copy? Like, how far does that coaching go?
Yeah, we've created a training platform so that there's a lot of pre-recorded training videos. There's templates, there's creative, there's tools that they can invest in or, get for free. Of course, we offer them a Go High Level account if they don't already have one. We teach them how to use that to the maximum capacity so that they can, do the best they can with the leads. Because, the second, very close second part of creating leads is being able to follow up with them and sell them, right?
Yeah, for
So
sure.
if you don't have that in place, you could burn a lot of money. So, that's a part of the coaching, is coaching people how to do that, set it up. For example, the reason why I was able to generate over $1 million of revenue in water filtration since March, and I had zero experience in this space, is because I know how to run ads, and I
Right.
knew exactly what to look for. So there's literally a way that you can generate ads that work, that almost guarantee you'll have leads. And the hack is really modeling, right? And when I say modeling, is looking at other ads that are in the similar space. And there's tools out there that you can download and use. And if you find an ad, and this is a hack for anyone watching this, and this is for you as well, Brandon. I mean, if you want to know the truth, it's just finding an ad in the similar space that you're in and wanting to be in, and looking at how long that ad has been running. Because if that ad has been running for a certain period of time, now you know it's a successful ad, because they wouldn't be spending money unless they just want to donate,
Yeah, right.
right?
Right.
Which is very unlikely. So then what you do is you take the trend of all those ads that run for a certain period of time, and you say, hey, what do they all have that's similar? And you do, obviously you don't copy word for word or anything, but you model it to the point where the touch points are similar. And that's what you do, is you generate an ad versus that's similar to that. And then you're going to almost guarantee you're going to get some good results, which is AKA leads, so that you can do what you need to do with your business. That's the main piece that people don't realize. You can download and go to the ads library on Meta, right? And find ads similar. You can download a tool called foreplay.co, I believe it is,
Yeah.
and use those tools. There's other tools out there besides that. That will give you the best. Like if I'm going into a space and someone says, hey, can you create me an ad for this space? And I've never done it. That's the process I take, right?
Hmm.
And so when you look at modeling and comparing what's out there working, now you reduce your risk of it not working down to a very bare minimum.
Hmm.
And this is what agencies do, anyways, right? They use what worked for them because they figured out what's working for them. But if they're going into a different angle, a different territory, or a new one, they're going to do the exact same thing I just told you, right? They're going to model it down to what's going to make the risk very small.
Yeah, I want to go back to it because I was just thinking about you were talking about HCs and they model the same ads over and over for each client, and that brings up a perfect scenario. I have a client, a roofing client out in Idaho, and they hired a company to run the ads for them. They promised them 30 appointments per month because they were going to call, and this company was spending 150 per day, and they got like 9 leads, like raw leads in 30 days. And I
Hmm.
kept trying to get a hold of him. He wouldn't call me back. I was like, "You want to cancel that company, man? Because they're not promising what they said they would." But that's just a prime
Yeah.
example, like you said. They just constantly get burned over and over and over.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. I mean, I can tell you based on the product or service you offer, what the lead cost should be and if that's realistic or not, right? So I don't know, $150 a day, you said?
yeah, that's what they were
And
spending.
what was the product they were offering?
Roofing, new roof replacement.
Roofing. And they spent how much?
Uh, so they lasted about a month. So what, a little over $4,000?
4,000. And they promised how many appointments?
30, 30 appointments.
Yeah, so that's not doable, right?
Right.
If you wanted 30 solid appointments, you're probably spending at least $10,000.
Exactly.
you
Right.
know but what you can do is you can spend $2,000 and generate a bunch of leads and then just milk through those leads to find the appointments that are going to be working, right? And now because of AI, like you were talking about earlier, you can create an AI appointment setter through Go High Level and it can generate those appointments for you,
Right.
and we can coach people how to do that, right? You can coach people, I can coach people. I coach people how to set that up. So again, it's not just running the ads, which is the main thing, is also setting up a process where it can do the best to nurture that lead and creating whatever your next step is in your process.
Are you all in on this coaching business? Because you sound like you definitely are passionate about it for sure.
Well, I mean, it's a game changer. I mean, think about it. If you have no leads and you're begging and you think you're you think you're going to be a content creator and create enough content to generate like, don't get me wrong, I create content, but unless you're there to set up content that's going to be like literally if you want a massive response, you have to wait for a viral video, which is very unlikely in most cases, or you got to be willing to post like 30 times a day, 30 different pieces of content every day. Now if you did that for every day for a year, at the end of that year you should be generating pretty good solid leads. But who has time to post 30 times a day and not include the content you got to create to do it? No one really does, right? And so, what's your choices? Now you're going to go out there and network in the world where how many networking groups you got to go to. You can do Zoom networks, I guess, but I mean, what other source is there to generate leads other
Right.
than running paid ads? So the thing is why do the big companies run paid ads? Why do people run paid ads? It's because they know how to run paid ads.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
so the knowledge gap is you got to teach yourself how to do it some way, or you got to have some trust in someone who for sure knows how to do it. And that's very rare. We're in a very low trust economy right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Lying.
And so, I don't, I mean, the only way I know how to get people to trust me who don't know me is just to teach them how to do what's going to help change their business forever. And then if they still want to hire me for the follow up and the setup and the launching and even the sales follow up, then obviously at that point they don't have to hire me, but they have enough to know, hey, this guy knows he's talking about. He showed me everything that's going to change my business. And so that's why I do the trainings, because that's the only way. I mean, I can do a video and do what everybody else can do and show like a quote or someone saying, "Hey, Frank changed my business," and I can do that. But I'd rather just get in a room with you, Zoom room with you for an hour, show you exactly what you need to do, and then if you then want to hire me afterwards, that's perfect.
What kind of companies do you target, or is it like are you just kind of like all over the board, like whoever wants to run ads?
Well, I'll be honest with you, I found other coaching businesses are a little older in the demographic typically, and they have no clue how to run ads. They tried to hire someone and got burned, or they try to run their own stuff. I just got done coaching a guy. He has a $60,000 offer. He does some crazy stuff that helps people in a big way. But he does nothing but JVing, right? You know what JVing is, where you just joint venture with someone and then
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
you pitch their list and they pitch your list, which he generates customers that way. But I said, hey, why aren't you doing paid ads? And he told me his story is as similar as almost everybody else, especially coaching, home services. I tried, didn't work. I hired someone, they burned me, and then I'm looking at hiring someone, and that is gonna I know can help me, but they're too expensive.
Hmm.
So he's stuck like Chuck, right? He's gonna grow his business like a snail, and then one day, what if something happens where he can't grow his business enough to pay a team? What if he gets sick or needs to take a vacation or time off? His business is done, right?
Right.
I mean,
Exactly.
like the dude did, like the dude did to Jake Paul.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what's going to happen to his business, right? I mean, I don't know about you, but I've been in a situation where I had to take a time off for family. I got sick during COVID, almost died. I mean, my business at that time didn't run really well without me. So you have to create enough of a team that can operate. Like my water business, I don't have to be involved in it. I mean, at all. But I only got to that point by being able to generate enough revenue, by generating enough ads and leads that got me to that point, right? And
Exactly.
so, that's that the coaching space for sure is one of those. Home services, a lot of home services are smaller, like the guy that is working on your AC is the owner too. you
Yeah. The
know
truck in the truck is what I call them.
yeah, and the wife is doing the accounting, and she might boost an ad every now and then on her
Yeah.
Facebook
Exactly.
page. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
she'll post in the Facebook group, and that will generate some stuff and whatnot. But if you want a predictable flow of leads, you have to have a system in place that
Right.
generates that leads, right? So if I wake up this morning and I don't have uh, you know, 100 leads that came in over the weekend for the water filtration business, that's because something like a credit card didn't go through or an ad got shut off. It's not because we're hoping that somebody will respond to our Facebook post or our
Yeah.
group post or whatnot, right? It's because we know for sure that we can predict that we're going to have 100 new leads every weekend because we run the ads like we do. So that's what I teach. I teach people how to do that, right? Instead of just hire me to do it for you. First of all, I don't want to do that. And
Yeah.
second of all, um, you know, and you can go get someone to freelance you. But again, do you know for sure they're going to deliver for you? The only way to really be for sure was the quotes in the movie. If you're going to do something, sometimes you got to just do it yourself.
Yeah.
That's
Exactly.
exactly what I'm teaching people how to do.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
When it comes to the ads, like, have you have you found a favorite format, like videos, carousels, just static images?
Yeah.
Like, in
The,
your experience, what do you think performs the best?
the best of ads are selfie video ads.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
you hold up you hold up your phone and you do a selfie video of yourself introducing yourself, especially if you're a local business like roofing, home services, whatnot. You do a selfie video introducing yourself. Hey, I'm here. My name is Frank with such and such business. I'm here in your local community. Love to help you in any way. If you need this, and this type of service, click the link below. Love to help you out. Right? Just a introduction, or it can be a little tour guide of your warehouse or one of your trucks or whatever you got going on. The selfie video. First of all, video works better than anything.
Yeah.
So then the type of video is very a low production, and when I say low, not like crappy.
Like the
Our
selfies, like you said.
yeah, a nice clean selfie video, it feels more like an everyday person. Of course it depends on your clientele, your target clientele, but if you're a home service local business, if you're a coaching, even a coaching business, do selfie videos. People love those, right? And they
For
respond to them.
sure. Yeah.
And move around a little bit, move the camera around a little bit, move like you're walking or something, or, just spin a little bit. If you
Yeah.
do that, you're going to get because the first thing you want to do is get people to stop scrolling, right? To watch. The second thing you want to do is to draw them in a little bit, right? And a quick little introduction does that. And then the third thing you want to do is you want to give them a reason to want to learn more. And then the fourth thing you want to do is give them, a call to action. Click the link below, right? That kind of thing. So those are the best videos or best ads to run as videos, selfie videos.
I always find there's like if you took all meta advertisers and you put them together, you put a line right between the middle of them. Half this side it firmly believes in the lead forms, and then this side is funnel pages all the way. Like to me, it's always not like both. It's like one side love lead forms, and then the other one was funnels. Like which
Yeah.
which side are you on?
Well, Facebook just added where you can do both in one ad.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
know that. Interesting.
So one ad can run to both. And I'll be honest with you, I don't know exactly how they determine, but I
Yeah.
think and I just saw that this morning. So this is brand
Okay.
new off
Okay.
the shelf, hot out of
There
press,
you go. Yep. That's
but
actually,
I noticed that this morning I was actually creating some new ads. And I believe it's, they give the option to do either both or either one, right? Which is good. But
yeah,
what I'll go to is that most people here's what's going to happen. I'll just tell you the data. Higher quality leads are going to come off of a landing page or a funnel, okay, and lower quality leads are going to come off the form. Both of them work. Both of them work, but both of them have to be done right.
exactly.
So the forms people don't like because they think it's lower quality, and it is a little bit lower quality. But you can set up the form where you get higher quality, good leads. You have to customize it, you have to set it up, and that's part of
Mhm.
the coaching I give.
Yeah.
Is forms are, if you do not know how to create a landing page or have someone who does and knows how to do it where it ties into your ad, just don't even fool with it. Just
Hmm.
do a lead form, and then the lead form needs to have. And here's a little clue for everybody, a little hack. Make sure you use a custom question for the phone number. Okay. Do not rely on the default phone number
The pre-fill one.
entry, pre-filled one, right? Because they'll end up filling that in with the phone number they signed up with about 20 years ago. You
Exactly.
know,
Exactly.
especially if they signed up like me. I signed up in 2007. If I now I've updated my phone number, but a lot of people don't.
Yeah.
So what I would recommend is use a custom question for the phone number,
Hmm.
okay, and even the email if you want. That way you have that, it makes them type it in,
Hmm.
okay.
Yeah.
The other hack is at the end when it goes to the thank you page, or where it says all set,
Hmm.
give them an incentive to call you right then,
Right. Hmm.
okay. So say, hey, if you call me, I give you an additional 20% off or $100 off. Or if you call me right then, I got a gift I want to give you as well. But call me so I can show you what it's about. What will happen is it's probably about 30 to 40% will call you if they're
Hmm.
really interested, which they should if they fill out the form.
Right.
And that way you get them on the phone right away. Okay. And that's for any business. I don't care what you are. I mean, if you can't answer the phone, have someone ready to answer, or have an AI bot answer, right? Whatever you need to do. For our water filtration business, when they see an ad and they fill out that form, we give them another discount if they call right now, and probably almost 40, 45% call right now. And that's how we sell. We sell over the phone. So
Yeah.
that's huge for us,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So we're not just getting a lead that we have to chase down and get them on the phone. We're getting a lead that literally we can talk to most of the time, right there on the phone. And we close most of those. I mean, I think our numbers are in the 65, 70% range of anyone who calls because they're already on the phone. So
I,
lead forms work. You just have to
yeah.
set them up right.
Yeah. I've always been a believer of that as well. Because again, the marketing agencies, they just put like one or two questions, like
Yeah.
from an email. That's not enough, man. Everybody could fill that out in seconds. That's just not enough.
Yeah. Don't ask too many questions, but definitely ask a few qualifying questions,
Hmm.
and then ask, like I said, a custom question for the phone number. That way, you got, the right phone number. And then, like I said, a little bit of an incentive at the thank you page. And that way you can take that lead hot off the press. Because as everybody already knows, if you're in business, you should know this anyways. Speed to lead is important, right? The studies show the faster you get a hold of a lead, 5, 10 minutes, the more likely they can convert. So if they call you right away, that eliminates that issue, right? And so that's a key factor in creating forms. And then as far as the landing pages or the funnels, you want to make sure that it's simple, straight to the point, not too busy,
Hmm.
right? And if anything, if you can create a little video, like a Loom video, and embed it on that page, kind of encouraging more or giving more details about what you do. Like for example, I'll go back to our water filtration business. When we have people go to a landing page, we give them a quick little demo of the system that we think is best for them based on what they put in the form or filled out, and then that basically is a sales presentation,
Hmm.
right? And they just click on whether they want to move forward or talk more about it, and that is the best way to get people to convert off of the landing page. Just a little bit more information. Not it's like a trailer to a movie, right? Don't get too
Yeah.
long with the movie,
Right.
just the trailer, right? So like a minute or two, maybe 5 minutes at the most, depending on what you're selling. If you're selling coaching, you might have to a little more in depth video, 5-10 minute long. But if it's like water filtration, literally that video we have is like 2 minutes long at the most.
Yeah. I just realized too, kind of change subjects a little bit. You're right in Lakeland,
Yeah.
Lakeland, Florida, right? I'm right in Valerico. We're
Oh, there you go.
neighbors, you even know it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is,
Valrico,
yeah, right down the street. What part of Lakeland?
North Lakeland. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Closer to I-4. Yeah.
Yeah. I used to
And
live
my
in.
wife's my wife's from Plant City, so we know Valrico very well. So
Okay. Are you from this area?
yeah. Yep.
Like born and raised?
Yep.
Oh,
Now I
awesome.
tried to move away a few times. I went to Georgia a few times because we love it, but we ended up coming back for whatever reasons. Family, all my family's here, all my wife's family's here, so we try to get away. But it's a little early in our life, so we'll have to do that more in the retirement part of our lives. Move away because we end up for whatever reason drawing back down because family needs us or whatever. So, but yeah, Florida, born and raised.
I'm trying to get out of Valerico. I'm trying to
Yeah.
go in Orlando or Parrish down now.
Okay. Yeah.
I wasn't
Well,
born here, but I've been here since I was like 7,
yeah.
and right in this area, Brandon, Valerico, and I don't know, I just hate it
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
because I've been here for so long. But
Yeah,
that
for
kind of
sure.
leads into the next question: do you work with clients just in our area, or is it all national?
Oh no, I mean, if they can get on a Zoom, I can coach them, right? They can get on a Zoom. That way I can share my screen. They can share their screen.
Are
Uh,
you running ads to get new clients, or is
but
it
yeah, yeah. I
okay?
can't teach ads and not run them
Oh yeah,
myself.
well, yeah, yeah,
you
for
know,
sure. You
yeah.
never
I mean,
know.
I do a lot of posting because I try to fill my rooms, my training rooms up with, the least amount of investment. That way we have people in there. Plus, I test new trainings out without spending a ton of money. But yeah, I run ads for everything I do. There's not a business I do. Matter of fact, I don't get involved in the. I'll tell you, I don't get involved in the business unless ads can be ran on a
Yeah.
predictable way, right? Because to me, there's no real way to scale it unless you can increase budgets, you can run more ads, and get more lead flow. In my opinion, right? So, yeah, there's not a business I'm not involved in. I'm involved in that doesn't have ads.
Do you do anything with TikTok or YouTube ads?
Me personally, I have and do. I wouldn't necessarily coach on that because I'm not as versed as it is. I mean, I've done successful ads on TikTok, especially. But my coaching is really are centered around Facebook and Instagram, which obviously is the biggest player on viewership and things like that. But yeah, I definitely recommend it. YouTube, you can dial down to the advantage on YouTube is you can get ads put in front of people based on competitors, right? So that's a huge advantage, right? So you can dial it down to a channel, right? So if this channel has got all your type of customers that watch it and subscribe to it, then you can take an ad on YouTube and focus it right on that whole channel's subscribers or any channel like it, and your conversion or your audience targeting is high, and so you don't have to be guessing on that, right? So that's what I love about YouTube. Where Facebook, man, I mean, Facebook nowadays used to have to, figure out the targeting, and
Yeah,
that's one people don't realize is now they figured it out for you, and they do a
yeah.
really good job, right?
What do you
So
think
as
about
long
the
as
new?
you call it out, you'll get that type of client.
But what is your experience on the Andromeda update?
I mean, it's actually built more for different creatives. It's encouraging to do more natural, organic creatives. It's obviously playing towards a little more video, right? That's why videos still they want videos. So, in my opinion, who knows what it really means? I mean, people
Yeah,
try to dissect it,
yeah, for sure.
but it's all just like blah blah blah. It
Hmm.
really, at the end of the day, it looks like they just shifted their ads or the ones they really give you a lot of organic reach or whatever the reach is towards videos or
Yeah,
different. They want you to change things up. They don't like these long running ads because now you've hacked them. Yeah, so they want you to add a new one or whatever. And that's really what you should be doing that anyways. You should be checking your ads. If you tell me, I'm running ads right now. When's the last time you checked it? A week ago. You
yeah,
you're probably wasting money if you
exactly.
still have them running. You got to check them every day.
Yeah,
a
for
couple
sure.
times a day.
Yeah.
You can download the app and just check them like frequently throughout the day.
That app
And
is so glitchy though.
I know it is. I know,
It's
but still, just fight with it a little bit. That way, that way you're not overspending. Or if an ad's not performing, you can either take it offline, or if an ad's not running because there's an error or whatever, you can get on top of it pretty quickly. And so I encourage people to look at it every day.
Yeah. I watch these videos of these experts and they're trying to dissect and change the way the campaign structure is, like
Hmm.
from before drama to the way it is now. And I always think like I don't think it's really about that because you can still set up the campaign whatever works best for you. It's just I think like you said, the biggest thing is change the creatives often. Or
Yeah,
keep
yeah,
watch them, you want to keep feeding it new stuff. And
yeah,
then,
yeah. Yeah, I
that's
mean, the overthinking stuff and thinking like you got to do all the like you don't like the whole. I gotta know how to set up a pixel. Listen,
mhm.
I know how to set up pixels, but you don't have to set up a pixel to get leads. You don't, right? You
Like
can
it's getting
use
less
lead
and less
forms.
important, in my opinion. Like
What's that?
I feel like it's getting less and less important, in my opinion.
Well, it's also getting easier to set up as well, right? Even
Yeah,
like you mentioned Go High Low. I mean, they make it easy to copy paste right in their sites and landing pages. But even if you do, even if you don't know how to use set up a pixel or whatever, you don't need to, right? And Facebook's ad platform is definitely overwhelming. It can be for the
yeah,
common
for
person.
sure.
I mean, but don't that's what my coaching does. It teaches you how to just focus on the moves and the steps that only matter towards getting leads. There's only a few of them. All those other options probably don't even have nothing to do with what you need to do. You just focus on a few steps. That's what I do is teach people the hard, make it simple. That way when they leave the coaching and the training, they're like, hey, I'm super super confident I can create leads and get appointments now, get lead or generate ads and get leads. So that's what we're that's what I want to do with people is give them such clarity that they're confident in doing that, and that way they can have predictable results. Right? They wake up every morning, they either have sales or appointments and new leads, and then they build their team out and grow their business. So that's what it's all about.
Is there and then we can kind of cut this part out if you don't want to talk about it. Like what do you normally charge to coach somebody? Like is there a
Yeah,
set price or is it dependent, per client, per
Yeah,
lead?
it depends on what they want, but typically a coaching program with us, 8 weeks, they get access to the trainings and all the templates and all the tools, and then they jump on a weekly call. If they want private coaching, obviously it's a little more, but if they want to join the group that joins every week, certain times, we have a charge for that. So I mean, anywhere from 1,500 all the way up to $10,000. I got different packages, right? So this depends on how long and if you want one-on-one stuff or if you don't mind jumping in the group. You can learn a lot from the group because other people ask questions and things like
Yeah.
that, and you learn about that. But
Is that a
those
Facebook group?
what's that? No, I use school
Yeah, I
for
know you
yeah,
mentioned that. Yeah.
yeah.
So you got pre-recorded videos that you just kind of package and like here's your
Yeah,
you know
it's basically looms that tell them step by step different things depending on what they're looking at doing. And instead of making one long loom, I've broken it up into small little bite size because some people may not need to know how to set up their ad account like a new one,
yeah.
but they do need to know how to overcome some else in the steps. So instead of them having to watch all the video, they just go to the exact topic that they're looking for.
That's almost something like it's passed through my mind a few times of doing something like you're doing now. Like I didn't even think to call it coaching. I always thought just I should make videos of for people too, so they can run their own ads. That's kind of about as far as I got with it. I didn't even think of pre-recording everything and selling that as that's what you're doing, right? You're selling that as a package
Well, yeah,
before.
we do live coaching too, where they join
Okay,
a Zoom weekly, and
okay,
it's basically just a big Q&A. Hey, what you got going on? Tell me what's stubbing you. What's challenges you're facing, and we just do kind of like this, where we answer questions, share screens. So there is live coaching, if you will, but there's also videos that are pre-recorded. Let's say you can't make it one week, and you're really looking for some direction on something. All the coaching calls are recorded and put on there, but also different specific steps,
yeah,
and when we find new tools, new techniques, new strategies, I record it, put it
hmm
on there. Like for example, I found a new tool to create video ads using AI. Pre-record how to use it. Boom, put it on there. That way, the whole anybody in the program gets access to it. They can use it if they want. If they don't, no big deal.
What do you think about the AI video? You think that's like hindering or helping ads? Like, when you run AI created videos.
Well, it's just like anything tool technology wise. There's, you can use it for good or for not good. I created a bunch of SOAR ads yesterday. I was just playing around and just started posting a bunch of stuff about the training I have tomorrow night. By the way, anybody, I don't know when you're posting this. Are you posting this before tomorrow or tonight? I don't know when you're posting it, but when you,
Uh, I don't know if it's gonna be tomorrow. Might be
okay, no problem.
after
But
Christmas.
listen, if anyone's interested, I have a website called createyourown.ads.com, and
Okay.
that's just a training sign up. And so if they can't make the next training, the next one up, they'll get an email saying, "Hey, we have another one." So if anyone's interested in learning how to create their own ads, like I'm talking about, they can go to createyourown.ads.com, sign up for the training. But yeah, so the SOAR ads, I mean, I did a bunch of them yesterday to just kind of give a different spin on,
I kind of I don't mean to interrupt you. I'm addicted to that app. I don't know if you've been watching my Facebook, but I'm posting like 20 videos a day or 10 videos a day, just stupid
Oh,
stuff.
I do see that you're posting a lot of AI videos. I didn't know you were using Sora though.
Yeah, I'm using Sora. I just
Okay.
download them, and I don't care about the watermark because I just think they're funny.
Yeah, for sure. But I thought I watched a few of yours and I didn't see a watermark. I thought maybe you're using something different. That's why.
Mm.
But yeah,
I mean, there's old videos that I recorded like this. I don't know if you saw those,
yeah,
but I mean, you could tell the AI ones.
yeah.
That's
That new video tool that I was telling you about.
yeah.
It's the best tool I've seen that takes only a few seconds to remove the watermark.
Okay.
It's called VMake or something like that. I actually just did a recording on it for my group.
Did you?
Yeah, it's called vmake.ai. If anyone's interested,
I think
it'll
that's
help
cool.
remove the watermark like within seconds, and it's the cleanest. There's other ones that do it for free, but it'll
Yeah.
still like blurry.
Yeah.
This one removes it without even you knowing it, so it's pretty good.
Interesting.
Yep.
Interesting. Interesting. Man, have you tried anything with Google, like Gemini?
Yeah, I create images off of Google Gemini. Yep,
Have you tried
all
any
the
of the
time.
video stuff?
Not the video. I mean, yeah, I've created a video, but not intentionally.
Oh, yeah,
Yep.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I
Have
kind of
you?
like the idea that you can upload a photo and then create that into a video. Like
Yeah.
in
You're talking about the
uh,
banana
no,
video?
like I literally just go to Gem
Nano.
Nano Banana, yeah.
Yeah.
But I upload a photo and I say something like, "Hey, please make a video of me doing something," and it just creates the video out of that photo. And
Okay. Is
it's
that the videos I was talking about that has no mark?
no, well, there's one. I did one. It's a
Okay.
little bit more complicated than Sora. Sora's like, super easy. It's a little more
Right.
intense, but
I'll have
I
to try that. I'll have to try that. Now, is it as good at if you can give it a good prompt? Is it good at creating the video like Sora is? Sora's pretty good. It's getting better.
I've only did the one. The one I
Yeah.
did, it looked pretty dang good.
Yeah. Like one of the videos I did was Chris Farley kind of video. I don't know if you saw it.
I didn't see
Where he comes in. I'm a Chris Farley fan, SNL fan, back when it was good. But he comes in, yeah, he comes in and he's like the motivational
that
guy.
river.
Yeah, and so my ad was you can't say his name because then it'll say copyright, but it says big guy with a suit and jacket on coming in with glasses. And he says, "If you don't get more leads, you're gonna be living them in the van
That's
down by the
pretty good. You
river."
gave me a good idea.
Yeah, yeah.
Pretty good.
So if you go on my story, you can see it. I posted it yesterday. It's still on there, but
Okay.
just a little different one. Then I have a reporter at a funeral, right? And
Yeah,
he's like reporting real serious, like a Dateline or Nightline guy. And he's like, "Too many businesses are dying because they have not enough leads. If you want to learn how to create your own leads, go to
that's
the website."
good. I
So
can,
stuff like that makes it dramatic and
could
funny.
you make yourself a character in the Sora app?
Yeah, yeah. And then I did one where it was The Godfather. It says, "I got an offer you can't refuse,"
That's
and
pretty good.
I'm like smoking a cigar and all
Yeah,
this stuff.
that's pretty
But
good.
I posted that last night, and yeah, just stuff like that. I think those are fun,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
gets people's attention a little bit.
Right.
I'm actually testing out one of the Sora videos as an ad, Facebook ad, and I actually posted it this morning, seeing how it's doing. I haven't checked it in a minute, but I'm gonna I'm gonna be seeing how that goes, because it's definitely a good attention. I got one other video that's a guy laying on the operating table, and then he flatlines, and
Yeah,
the nurse comes running in. Oh my
yeah,
gosh, he's gonna die. His business is gonna die. He doesn't have enough leads, and
that's
so
pretty good. That's pretty
yeah,
good.
yeah. So stuff like that, it's
Yeah,
pretty
I,
fun.
I tried to do some of that too. I think originally I was using Sora because I was trying to post content to Facebook to try to get monetized. But I don't know. Maybe you had the answer to this. But my Facebook profile, my professional profile, says I can't monetize because something to do with they couldn't verify that it was me or something. I don't know if I have
Yeah.
a post on there from a couple years ago. Then I
Well, you
hear,
just have to go in there. I think you have to upload your ID or something, your government ID,
I
and
don't know,
then the
trying to get a hold of them is like trying to get a hold of the IRS. So I
yeah.
just kind
But
of
usually you can go in there when they tell you that in your settings, and it'll ask you to upload your ID or something like that. But usually they ask you to upload it to verify it's you. I had that happen 2 years ago, where I had my accounts in 2007, and all of
yeah.
a sudden they're like, "We don't think this is you." I'm like, "Well, it is, but okay."
You're right, right, exactly. And then
Yeah.
I was going to do my Facebook page, but I don't know. If, I don't see the organic stuff of Facebook. I don't know much about the back end ads. I know everything about that. Same as you. So I
Mhm.
don't know if like, can you monetize a page? Like, can you get ad spend from that, like ads and stuff? Do you
I
know?
mean, from what I know, you can. I mean, there's people I see. I don't personally do that, but I think you can post and get. They're paying people for those things. I
Yeah.
know they're still doing a big push on content video, so
Right.
you definitely can make money on that. But more importantly is, if you did get in a trend where you're posting pretty often, especially if you're after a certain type of client,
Hmm.
they're seeming to push it, especially on Instagram.
Yeah.
You can go viral, and when I say viral, I mean there's different levels of viral. Like 50,000 views is kind of a low level viral, but could be amazing.
Hmm.
If I had one of my videos about my training going for 50,000, that's going to be great because I'm going to get a percentage of that. So, but yeah, it depends on what your goal is. But I definitely know they're still pushing video content. Yeah,
Well, I tried to go down the road of like being a content creator, but the part where I fail is like you said earlier, you have to commit for a year long, and it's just like I can get like a month in. I'm like, ugh, and then
yeah.
the syndrome kicks in and all that. So, but with
Yeah,
solar,
I think there's different type of content creators. There's ones that know how to intentionally sit down and do the content based on just being that, person who creates content. And then there's people who need to figure out how to just kind of like document different things they're doing in their life, whether it be have someone walk around do it for them, or even just do videos themselves, and you selfie videos or whatever. And I think sometimes people confuse the two, right? So for me, like I have a goal to make $1 million personally by the end of summer, or by summer, which is a very very lofty, very very aggressive goal. And so my wife and I are going to document it. You know, one, and we're not going to put it out until afterwards, but instead of like doing lives and stuff like that, well, she's just going to be doing videos. I'm going to do a few videos, and it's kind of along the way, right? So it doesn't interrupt our life. We don't have to like set aside time to do the content because it's kind of what we're doing already, and it's following us along. It's just me and her, but we're following each other along about the process, and then we'll release it later, kind of like a little docu series, like a little
yeah, yeah,
real docu series of what 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 the journey was like trying to hit that goal.
right,
So I
right,
think sometimes if you change up your mindset on it, like creating content doesn't have to be so crazy,
yeah,
um, unless you have the time or money. If I have the type of time to set up a studio and do podcasting, which maybe one day I'll do, but if I have the time, that's a different type of creating content. But if I don't have the time, really the only kind of content I can really make is along the way, or when
yeah,
something comes up and I just can pop my phone up and do a selfie video or a reel or something.
yeah.
So
Yeah, you're right though. That's like one of the biggest things because so like right after the pandemic, my wife and I got really involved in Orlando, Disney World, Universal. So this is right when TikTok was really taking off. So
yeah,
I started creating videos like that for TikTok. And at that time, for about 8 months, I was like, I'm gonna go all in on this because TikTok's gonna blow up. Trump was trying to ban it and all that. I was like, this is going to stay. I got like millions of views, but then it got to a point where it just became too much to go to Orlando because I'm way over here in Valerico. It takes us
Yeah.
2 hours there. The traffic in that area is murder.
So you were literally going there and
That's
doing
the problem
content.
I had too, because I felt like I had to be there. To,
Yeah.
and really, I could have just stayed home and did some stuff, but it's just one of those things that we all,
Was you able to monetize it all, or
not at that time because they weren't doing it yet.
right,
Like
right,
through TikTok, they
yeah.
they released that like a year later. But
So it was more like a random thing that just kind of took off
yeah,
in right, yeah,
yeah, pretty
yeah.
much.
You definitely. I mean, again, unless you've made enough money and have enough time, unless there's a monetization strategy with it, why
Yeah,
do it? In my
yeah,
opinion, like
yeah,
if
yeah,
you don't, if you have, if you're a young person or you don't have to go out there and bust your butt or create a business or run a business, and you have time and you have money, go for it, man. Create whatever you want and kind of test it out. But if you don't, and you create it, you need to, create a business or run a business or make a business grow. Just do the content as you go kind of strategy, in my opinion. And then when you get, maybe even, one of my businesses I sold before, we got to a point where we had an actual media team. So I invested in that, and they did videos all the time of all kinds of stuff. Um, but that was at a certain level of revenue, right? It wasn't like day one or even the first year.
right,
it
yeah,
took it took enough money that said, hey, this makes sense to invest in our own media team. So unless you have that type of revenue where you can afford that, or you can afford to do it yourself, in your own time, whatever, that's fine. A lot of people start, and I'm guilty of this too. A lot of people start doing content based on a certain goal but
yeah,
never finish it because the return on scratching that itch of satisfaction takes
yeah,
longer,
yeah,
right?
for sure.
And so that's why people give up on it. I mean, because at the end of the day, you want to create something that gives you the quickest satisfaction, the most fulfilled satisfaction. And if you're a business owner, entrepreneur, you definitely need to just do what I call the as you go content strategy till you can create your own team or hire someone or have more time to do it yourself, right? That's how I look at it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
Yeah.
that's 100% true because I always like I've had friends that like want to create content and because they kind of see I create stuff here and there. Like, how do you do it? I'm like, man, you got to commit to at least a year doing it every day.
Yeah, you got to.
If you
Yeah.
can't have commit to that, don't even waste your time. Like, don't
Yeah.
even waste your time.
And you need and listen, if you do commit to that for a whole year and you're posting, you know, 10 times a day, which in my opinion, I think Grant Cardone did this on his show where he dropped into that place where he was like poor or something, and then he
Yeah.
created a business. Did you watch that show?
I don't know if I watched that one, but
Yeah, he was on AMC or some TV
oh, yeah, yeah,
show.
the millionaire one where he went to
Yeah,
Colorado. Yeah, yeah, I did.
yeah,
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 yeah, yeah.
yeah,
So his little business he created, their strategy was posting like 10 times a day on all the platforms. And the way he pitched it, of course, he's a great salesperson, but the way he pitched it was if you grow a forest today, one tree at a time, a year later, you're going to be you're going to be, they can't not notice you. Right. And it's true. If you planted a tree every day for a year down the road, 2 years down the road, 5 years down the road. Because this, the good thing about video is it doesn't go anywhere. I mean, it may get smashed down in the algorithm, but if
yeah.
someone knows how to Google or find you, especially on YouTube, you're going to be found, right? But he was right. Like he basically said that. Like if you do this every day for a year, you're going to be in a place where people cannot ignore you,
Hmm.
right? But that's a year. That's. I mean, I know year is not a long time, but for you to do it every day, because think about it, you got to create the content, you got to shoot the content, then you got to post the content,
You got to
and
edit
no
it.
one posts content without wanting to edit that,
Yeah,
and tweak that. So imagine having to do that every day, and you're posting 10 times a day on all the platforms. Yeah, you can use software, but there's still a lot of time
yeah.
commitment.
There's. I tried to do that with LinkedIn as well. I was trying to kind of grow that a little bit recently, probably in the last month. And High Level has that, the social planner. So I was like just cramming 20 different posts a day on LinkedIn with threads and a little bit of Facebook. But it's like even then got overwhelmed. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's just. I feel like
yeah.
we all go through that though.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you definitely have to focus on what's going to move the needle. and
Yeah.
also scratch the itch of keeping you motivated. And you have to know yourself and know well enough to know where you're trying to go and what's the best way to get there. And where you're trying to go, you need to have more than one path, because sometimes those paths, and people don't like hearing this. They're like, well, what are you talking about? You have a plan B? No, it's not a plan B. It's just called a different route to get there if this one doesn't work out, or ways to go overcome what's probably going to come up. Challenges in every business are going to come up that you don't expect. Yeah, so you need to expect the unexpected. And so, it's like, hey, where you want to go? Like right now, and I'm sorry I'm ranting a little bit, but
Oh,
right
you're
now
good.
everybody's talking about setting goals for
Yeah.
2026, right? And I tell people, do not set goals. And I'll pause so people to realize what I just said. Do not set goals. The worst thing you could do is set goals. What you need to do is create commitments.
Hmm.
And it's a mindset shift when you think about it. Goals are watered down wishes that we dream of, that we want, but really we've tainted the word goal so much that people don't really do anything about it to even achieve the goals. So what you have to do is you have to change, you have to do something that disrupts your mind to think of it differently. And the way you do that is you create commitments. So for example, I don't set goals, I set targets, right? And targets can be missed, but
Yeah.
can as long as you have enough ammunition, you can reload and shoot again. And I'm using that as just a
Yeah.
metaphor. But my point is that then what you do, what's the most important thing to setting a target or goal, is the commitments you make. If you do the commitments, you will hit that target and then some,
Hmm.
right? So for example, for me, the reason why I set a target of $1 million made personally by the summer is because my original goal was to make $250,000. And then I said, you know what? First of all, I need to set a lofty target
Hmm.
higher than I want to hit. And then I need to create my commitments based on that, not based on 250,
Yeah.
right? Because if you set your goals to 250, what if something happens
Hmm.
where you get set back? And don't get me wrong, I would love a straight path to
Yeah. Yeah.
250.
Yeah.
But we all know that's not how life works. Business doesn't work that. We don't work that. And even with the best plans, the best plan to have is to have something, ready in case something happens unexpectedly. So what I said is I want to go for 1 million.
Yeah.
Okay. And my commitments are based on what it takes to hit 1 million.
Yeah.
And then my schedule reflects those commitments. If my schedule does not reflect those commitments, I'm just setting a wishful goal,
Yeah.
right? So I just set commitments. That's why I tell people, create commitments, don't set goals. And really, it's just a way to disrupt your mind. I'm going to create a commitment to hit $1 million. And I have several commitments that I have to do to make that possible. And guess what? I may hit it, but I will definitely get close or above it. And if something does happen, I'll probably fall back to my original goal, which was 250 or somewhere along those lines. And so I'm more likely to hit where I want to be because of the way my mindset about it, and then of course my action steps. So I encourage everybody, especially this time of year, don't set goals, create commitments.
That sounds
Hopefully
like,
that makes sense.
yeah, it does. It sounds like something right out of Grant Cardone's book, 10X. Have you ever read that book?
Yes, I've read it. Yeah, a little
Or
different,
it's a little
but
different. Yeah,
yeah,
definitely a little different.
yeah, a
But
little different, but really just reverse engineer the commitments you got to make to do that, right? Instead of trying to, and I also say, don't try to make a commitments way too far down there.
yeah,
That's why I said by the summer, okay? Because by the summer is pushing me,
yeah,
you know? And so, and we're also documenting it video wise, and I want people to see what it takes to try to hit a lofty goal in a very shorter period of time. And I may or may not hit it, but I'm going to do everything I can to hit it. And I can't just talk about it, I have to have the commitment. So my schedule, my calendar has to have things that would make that work, right? And so I got to have so many meetings, I got to have so many calls, I got to have so many leads, I got to have a team member. If I'm going to do that, my life has to reflect that, right? And then when you do, if you make those changes, you will hit those goals, if not bigger, most of the time, right? And again, if something happens that sets you back, you're still going to be in good company because the commitment level. is
Hmm.
matching the target. So that's what I encourage people to do. Don't set goals, create commitments. And if you do, you will put yourself, you'll be happy. You'll be happy.
What's some of your commitments for 26?
Well, the main thing is I'm going to be doing way more trainings. When I think about my trainings, I used to think about them like once a week, but now we're looking at 4 to 6 times a week, right?
Okay.
Just killing it.
Yeah,
And then what comes along with that? How do I get enough people showing up to these trainings, right? I got to have ads. I got to have organic. I have to invites. I have to have referrals, and so all the things that go along with that, right? So one of my main commitments is way more trainings, because that's kind of my webinar type funnel to get people to say, hey, we want to hire you to do the other parts, because we know you know how to do that, right? So training, more trainings for sure.
have you had any, we'll kind of change subjects a little bit, have you ever had any failures in business? Like
Oh,
have you ever, well,
big time, big time. One of my biggest companies, I started from scratch, went to $20 million in revenue the second year. Huge amount of money, made more money than I ever made. And I bought a Z06 Corvette, brand new in 2019. I don't say that to brag. I'm saying to you where I was at. I bought my house cash. I bought my wife almost a $20,000 engagement ring, because she was my girlfriend at the time. I
yeah,
mean, my life totally changed. So then we got to a point where we were shifting into some consulting in the same arena, and I felt like it was time to make a change. So I ended up selling the company to people that I raised up inside the company,
yeah,
and because they were like the closest people that knew how to run things like I did. Well, they were that was a big mistake. I should have never sold it to. I should have, number one, never sold the company, and number two, never sold it to them. They ended up burning down that company, and when I say burning out, I mean like shutting it down where it didn't run anymore within 90 days. Okay. And then my name was drugged through the thing because of it, because no one really knew. It wasn't like a public thing that they were running it. Everybody just assumed I was still a part of it,
yeah.
which I wasn't. I had literally sold it. Well, they paid me, a few things in the beginning, so I didn't get I didn't get any money out of the deal. I got a little bit, but not
Yeah,
nowhere near what it was worth, because they were going to pay me over time, right, out of the business.
right. Yeah.
And I literally thought that these guys that I had raised up from the beginning were capable and able and would do the right thing. And, it wasn't like I made them buy the company from me, but they ended up taking the company and burning it down basically, and just running it to the ground quickly. I mean, one of the first things they did is they went around to all the current salespeople and employees and made them all sign an NDA, and just scared most of the people away, right? Like, you're talking about your best people. And they just ran around trying to get people to commit with a heavy stick, right? They didn't know how to lead people. They just thought threatening them, basically, right,
Hmm.
would get them to comply. I'm like, dude, are you serious? You can't become the new boss and then within 30 days try to threaten people
Was
with
this happening?
commitments.
Was this happening like behind your back, or like you saw it happening, like you saw it crumbling in front of your eyes?
Well, I was getting all the people telling me about it,
Okay.
right? So
Yeah.
my agreement was I would stay a part of consulting them and helping them, but I would
Yeah.
not be the face or the leader and make
Gotcha.
any of the shots. Like, my names were off the bank accounts. I mean, I wasn't going to be going into the buildings anymore. I mean, I wasn't going to be the CEO. I mean, I was not going to be owning or in charge of the company, but I did say, hey, I am here to consult you, because this is a transition. You've been
Yeah.
running an office, not the company. You've been running a team, but not the whole company. So I said, hey, I'm here to help you, right? I want this to be successful, because one, I'm getting paid as you're continuing the success. And then we got like 60, 70 people that work for us that, are going to rely on you to take this transition. So I stayed on as a consultant, but they literally didn't want me involved after like 2 weeks. They were like not even communicating. So I would get all the people that are still at the company telling me this, right?
Yeah.
This is what's going on. Oh my gosh. Can you believe this? Can you believe that? And so, yeah, I mean, there was nothing I could do about it, because
Is it
I'm
still
hiring.
around today, or it's like it's gone?
No, I mean, I literally, I literally I started a different company in the same industry because I had no choice because of that situation,
Yeah,
which I had no plans to do. I was consulting, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna have to let me go ahead and because people were coming to me at this point, and they're saying, hey, you know, we need. Can you do this? Can you start something on do this? And I was like, well, I guess we will. And of course, we wanted to do it smaller, so we did. And then what happened is, um, I got word that they were going to close it down, and I just say, hey, why don't you just sign it back over to me, right? And signing it back over to me was like, hey, I'm just going to grab, what is left. There was really no inventory left. There was an office left. There was
yeah.
a few assets left, right? And then whatever. So they signed it back over to me for free. You know what I'm saying? So I was left with the mess, and you know, so that was the biggest single failure business wise in my life, right? So um, I don't have any regrets because at the end of the day, you learn from the losses and they turn into lessons. Um, but looking back, if I had that same opportunity, I would definitely do it different. So it's definitely categorized as the biggest failure in my life. But I'm squeezing every ounce of lessons from that, and that's happened 7 years ago almost now. But um, a lot of lessons learned from that. I don't do things the same way because of that. There's some different things, but there's also some things I've had to overcome that you kind of build in self doubt wise, and also insulate yourself from exposing yourself to the same results, but also limit you from growth too. So I've had to overcome some things that I'm like, well, I'm never going to grow a company that big again as far as, the size of the team.
Yeah.
And reality is like, I shouldn't just avoid that. The reality is I got to do it just different. Right.
Hmm.
So some people will try to avoid the results of what happened in their life or failure, and what they'll end up doing is just not even trying to cross that bridge anymore because they're like, hey, stay away from that. Well, just do it differently and better, and then you won't have to worry about it, right? So it's taken me some time on some things when it comes to business to say, hey, it doesn't mean that thing was wrong. Like building a team or a bigger team is not necessarily wrong. It's just a different way you got to form it, right? And you don't do it the way you did it. So I encourage people, if you went through failure, which most people do in entrepreneurship,
Yeah, for
most
sure.
people are going to experience some level of failure, but it can be the best way to teach you and help you if you let it, right? But also be aware of when you get those calluses, from the results, that it can also hold you back, limit you, because obviously you want, like I said, you want to insulate yourself from that happening again. So sometimes you might end up trying to avoid something when really you need to face it and be like, I just need to do it different this time. I need to learn from it and do it different. So that's my biggest encouragement on failure.
Would you ever go down the agency route again? Or you never? I don't think you really were, but because you mentioned ads and coaching, but would you go down the agency route with high level, like as far as like having clients to pay you for websites or ads management or anything like that? Whatever, high level has a whole suite stuff you can sell. But like, would you ever go down that road?
I mean, the only route I would take agency wise is if I acquired one already put together, like I
Gotcha.
bought a company that was an agency, and
Yeah.
they had a good process and whatnot. I don't necessarily like that in building something up because the fulfillment of it can be very, very taunting, right? It can be huge, right? And I want to make sure to fulfill in a way that people leave better than they came. And sometimes when you get into the fulfillment of it, you can definitely crush your own business future because you didn't fulfill right or fully. So you really have to have a great, great process and team in place to do that. So I would never start an agency unless there was already some key things in place. And the only way I can imagine doing that is acquiring a company that already has that in place, right? So yes and no.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I was because that's kind of the route that I'm going at. This is probably my third time trying. The first two I failed at for no other reason than my outreach wasn't that great. I didn't really know. I didn't really have the money to run ads. I didn't really know how to do the outreach. But now it's a little bit different. And
Yeah.
on top of that, the ones when I first started, I was doing ads management. I was getting roofers, but I was so desperate to take anybody. I got the truck in the truck. I'm
Yeah.
getting him leads, but he's not calling them. I had like
Yeah.
3 or 4 that were like that, and they're like, "Well, these leads suck." I'm like, "No, you're not calling them." So
Yeah.
that part that failed. So then at that point, I knew like I'm not working with people like that. Like that's just a
Yeah.
hard no.
And why did the second one fail?
Again, I was going after solar guys,
Hmm.
and then money got real tight, like real tight. So I kind of exited that one. I got hired at a company, introduced high level to them. We started targeting just roofers. It was a insurance company, insurance
Okay.
adjusting. Basically, they handle the files of the insurance that the roofers get from the homeowners. So this company would just manage the files for them to get the max amount back. And we were targeting roofers. And then I learned a lot about roofers, like a
Yeah.
lot. So that's like
And what is this agency you're doing now going to be doing
so
or
so
is
now
doing?
so now I'm kind of going all in on AI, and what I'm looking for is I'm starting with roofers, but I'll kind of do other companies too, like HVAC and plumbing. But if they're doing some kind of paid ads, if it could be Google, PPC, something, I only want to work with those type of companies because I know that they have some structure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some
Yeah.
kind of structure in place.
That's a
So
good mindset because they're investing in leads,
exactly,
right?
exactly.
And so they're spending it, and which means it should be important to them enough to. So what's your core offer, or your lead and offer that you're going to make, or solution?
Uh, and AI, the chat or voice AI, basically is
Okay.
like, and maybe a
Okay.
DVR,
Yeah.
depending
So
on.
what I would recommend, just give you my,
Yeah,
live on the call
for sure.
feedback here is don't even lead with AI. Lead with the result of what you want to help them do. For example, if I would imagine you're using AI. What's some of the things you're going to use AI to do with them?
They'll follow up to the leads as soon as they come
Okay.
in.
All right. So what I would say is, you know, um, a quick way to get people's attention, which you probably do, is are you guys using AI in your business now? And they're going to say yes or no. If they say yes, it's probably Chat GPT that are talking about. So you're
Yeah,
like, either way, you say, hey, cool, no problem. Listen, I have a new tool that I'm using that's helping people actually capture uncaptured revenue in their database.
yeah,
And if you have unsold leads, which everybody does, if you have
exactly.
unsold leads, I would love to help you turn some of those into revenue. We're using a tool that I would love to show you how it works. That's going to help you actually convert them without actually you being involved, other than just handing it over. And then what we're doing is we're actually taking that revenue and we're creating ads to create more leads. So you don't even have to use any new money to do that.
Well, it's funny you
So
say it. The way you just pitched it is exactly the way I do it. So I send out Loom videos. So what
yeah,
I do is on email, I use my personal email, and I'll send a message. And some people kind of disagree with this, but I want to capture them. I ask something like, "Do you have a veteran discount?" I want them to respond, and then I send the Loom because I don't want anything to get flagged, and I want them to respond. But I don't lead on like I'm a client. I just want that first email so they can respond. I do the same thing on Facebook, but I like email better. I get more
yeah.
response on email than I do
So you
Facebook.
email them and you say, "Hey, you currently offer a veteran discount?"
Something like that. Yeah. And I don't
And
format it. I keep it
yeah,
all like I'm doing it from my phone.
yeah.
So then yeah.
And then so if they say yes or no, you still sit in the loom.
Yeah. Yep. I send it right over.
But what's the reason? What are you telling them you're doing with the loom? Like, why are you sending them a loom?
That I see that they're running. So basically, what you just said, it starts like, "Hey, I was on Facebook and I saw that you guys are running ads. It looks like your ads are great; they're generating leads, but it does look like a lot of those leads aren't converting the way they should be." Then I go right into, "I'm not here to run your ads or be your ads guy, but I do have a new tool that can help you convert more of those leads into actual paying customers." And then I
Oh, but
say,
I
"Hey,
mean, like in the beginning where you're asking them, do they have a veteran discount? Oh, so you're just trying to get them to reply.
exactly,
Yeah, yeah.
exactly," because
And
you
they're
you
gonna
got
say they're
you
gonna
got to
say yes most of the time or no. Either way,
right.
they're gonna reply.
Right,
Okay,
because you
got
kind
it.
of have to open that gate. Because I just send links, it's going to go right to spam.
Yeah, so your reply rate what is pretty high, huh?
Well, the first one, yeah, the
Yeah.
first the first one is. almost 100%. But
All right. So after the loom, you don't get a lot of response back to that.
it drops to about like 3 responses out of 10. Out of 10
Huh.
looms, three of them
That's thirty
respond.
percent. That's where
Yeah,
you should be. You
yeah,
know. Now, how long is the loom?
30 seconds.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, short, very short.
Yeah. So have you tested different ones to send
I
people?
did, I did. I tried a little bit longer, and it was. I felt like I was saying too much. The response wasn't as good,
Yeah.
and then I can't go much shorter than 30 seconds. I feel like it's like
Yeah.
no.
So you send the loom, and then about 30% of people say, "What do they say?" Or what's your call to
Well,
action on that loom?
well, so that's the part where I'm kind of struggling. Is they'll say something like, "What is it?" I get a lot of those. They'll say, because I say at the end of it, let's set up. I can show you how the tool works. I'll either get what is it, how much, or okay. They'll just say okay, and
Yeah.
then the response of those is comes out like one out of the three that respond. I'll get one to get on a call,
Yeah.
and I think that's part of my fault though. My follow ups, which I'm struggling with. I'm still learning, so
Yeah.
that's kind of where
could you uh could you maybe, if they say yes or what is it or okay or any reply really after the loom, could you send them another loom video that kind of screen shares what it is that you're offering? Like, for example, you can white out everything, but like, for example, if you're going to use the AI bot, probably goes through their list and calls or texts or emails or whatever it's doing, right? Can you show some examples of that, right? And then you're talking at the same time saying, so what our tool does, it actually uses AI to help actually get more people warm again, set up appointments if it's roofing, obviously appointments,
yeah,
to set appointments of your unsolds. And so, and then you can kind of show how it's doing that. Even with, you can either do one or two things. You can set up a Google Doc with still screenshots,
yeah,
right? Or you can actually just loom the actual account showing an
yeah,
example of it. But if you maybe try the example loom as the next thing you send them, okay? Because you got to remember, they watch that 30-second. If you send them another loom, they're probably going to watch it.
yeah,
And because they want to know what it is, right? Or even okay, people will say they want to know what it is. Then maybe that gives them a little bit more taste. And then the other thing is just ask them, if that's something that they would be interested in jumping on a quick call for or
mm,
learning more about, right? Give them two options: quick call or learning more about. So what reason why I say that is because some people don't want to get on a call until it's
yeah,
worth it to them,
yeah, for sure.
right? And it may not feel worth it to them yet. So you say, or learning more about, and then they will say, hey, yeah, learning more about. And then you can say, okay, what part of it? And then the conversation, it's a conversation thing, right? What part of it that do you feel like you need to learn more about? Or what is it that you're looking at? Or what did you like or didn't like or whatever? That way you can get more conversations out of it. But maybe the second loom would be something worth trying.
Yeah, I probably will try that for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then like on Facebook specifically, the what I realized was roofers, a lot of them will have Facebook pages and they'll have like 30, 40, 50 followers. And then I quickly realized that those are probably the agencies running those. So that's why they weren't really responding. I had a couple that were in Pakistan that were responding. I'm like, I'm not going to show it to you. You're in Pakistan. You're running the ads.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
see, here's the thing: if you're using email, you might as well just use a system or software that can get high converting emails and just send that first email out, right? Like
You mean,
instantly or whatever.
what's that? What was the last thing you said?
Instantly, have you used that?
Yeah, well, I guess the only reason I stayed away from that was because I created a new loom for every single lead or
Yeah,
email.
but not for the first original question it
Yeah,
sent,
that's true. Yeah, you're right.
right?
You're
So
right.
you can send out 1,000 for whatever amount of money it costs, not very much,
Yeah,
and ask that general question, and then just deal with the yeses,
I
right,
guess.
or whatever responses, I should say.
Well, I guess the other problem with that would be is how do I find out on a large scale who's running ads, who's not? Because I don't really want to target the ones that aren't doing something on the digital space. Google Ads. So most of them do that PPC.
Okay, so what you do is, you know, there. I think there's a way to scrape Facebook ad libraries.
There is. I've tried that too, but it's
Yeah,
too. I don't mean to cut you off. I tried it through Appify. That's the one I've tried.
did it
But
work?
it works, but it doesn't give you all the details.
So then, what I would do is take the filter of the results and then filter it through finding their email,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And then just use those emails to send out because you know they're running ads,
yeah, for
right?
sure.
So there's a way you can match up what results like based on the company name, right? And then finding the emails associated to them, and then just use those emails for Facebook ad or for your original blast,
Yeah,
right? That's the way I would do it.
yeah,
That way you got both those boxes checked. You have a good email, and you know they're running ads. Then you send out at least 1,000 of them or so, and
yeah.
then you take your 30%, which should be a couple
300.
hundred, three
Yeah.
hundred maybe, and then you got enough to send out all those looms, right?
It's gonna be
Now, is your first loom custom to them?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. So
Um,
I put either their website or their Facebook page behind me, because I do the overlay screen record because I kind of I want to capture their attention,
right,
and then I change the title to the name of their company
right.
because when you send an email, it shows the preview and it has like the title. So I'm like,
Yeah, but what are you saying in there?
the main pitch that I said earlier.
Yeah, I think you can get away with not putting their, not customizing it. I think you should try
Yeah.
it at least.
Oh,
That way,
yeah, you're
yeah,
right. I thought about that. That's gone through my head, but I don't know how can I make a generic one? I guess just do the same thing.
yeah,
Just
without any company.
yeah,
And you can make it sound like it's for them. Hey, I was looking through your website. I was looking through, whatever, and it's your, just use those phrases, and it could sound like to them. And if they're playing it, they're not gonna really know. I mean, unless they're investigating it. Which, if they're investigating that far, they're interested, or at least interested in something. So, for the sake of time, you can have that first email canned, your first loom sent out, and then you just deal with people interested. That's
yeah,
what I would do.
exactly. Yeah.
Only people interested,
Hmm.
and so you know, that way you can deal with actual prospects that are interested, and then maybe have eventually scale it up and have a VA do the third leg, and then you're only dealing with people actually, whatever your process is. So that's how I would think about doing it. But that's a good process, man. You got one down. All you need to do is just tweak it until you can
Yeah.
do more volume and you get better conversions,
Yeah.
right? So,
Sure. And I've even tried
so
doing it through high level through that email, but nobody was opening that because my domain is Run Rate Digital. I was like, that's a red flag for sure. So I
yeah.
stopped.
Well, you also did you set up the custom domain?
Yeah, I did all that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
There's another email service out there besides Instantly that someone just gave me or showed me. I'll get it to you, but it probably will work well as well. He was like emphatic. He's like, use this. Do not use Go High Level, which I
Yeah.
already knew not to use Go High Level. Even I have a custom email and it doesn't always do well. He's
Right.
like, use this. This will be perfect for what
Hmm.
you need to do. I'll send it to you, but it's kind of like Instantly, but a little different.
Is it Apollo?
No, it's not Apollo. I know that one. Trying to think off the top of my head what it was. I have to go through my notes here because I was just on he was coaching me on webinars and stuff like that, and he gave that to me. Yep.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
How many school groups do you have that you
Man,
run?
I got now that they turned them into $10 a month, I got more than you want to know about.
And then they never give them the 3 months for free or whatever. When Hormazi was doing that big thing with his book.
Yeah, but now they have them where they're only $10 a piece now.
Yeah, but they were doing 3 months free and then $10. And then
Really?
yeah, that was like right when Hormazi was doing his book release. So,
Well, I would have made, like, I have one right now that I haven't even went live with. Well, it's live, but not like ads to and all that. And I'm actually creating a coaching program for water filtration people that want to start their own remote business like I am. And I haven't went live with that. And I got like 10 people trying to get in that school group,
yeah.
and it's not even ready yet. It's like, dang.
It's funny you say because there are some spammers on school.
Yeah,
So you can be
yeah.
careful of that. The
I,
ones that
I was looking through them though. They're not. They seem most of them seem
yeah,
legit. Like they're look like one of them's. I think one or two of them are in water filtration. So I was like, dang,
yeah, there you go.
they're actually looking at it. I've started other groups in that same phase and
Hmm.
had nobody trying to get in. But this one, for some reason, people want to get in.
Maybe
So
it's a
I was
but
actually pretty interesting.
yeah. Are there
Yeah.
any groups that you're in school that like you're active in, like a mentor
Um,
or that you follow or something?
there's a couple AI people that I'm a part of the group.
A
Forget
couple
the
of people.
names of them. I have to look it up. But people that create AI services through like
Yeah,
N8N,
yeah,
and you know just have different hacks with the AI and stuff like that. Right. I'm a part of those groups.
yeah.
I try to join free groups too. You know, if there's a group out there that is teaching something, I just joined a group that does these contest posts. Right? Have you looked into those?
I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, it's like a comment last contest, and
Okay.
the guys created a strategy where you create organic posts and you get all and the prizes are a part of what you offer, and so all the people that are in the contest in the comments are literally leads, and so
Yeah,
his school is all about teaching that, right? Which I'm a part of that. I've been looking into it. It's a little confusing a little bit, but it also is like, oh, this is making sense.
yeah,
So, and obviously he doesn't run ads or anything. He just does that. So I'm a
yeah,
part of that group. I've been watching that group a little bit because he gets a lot of people on those comments, man. He knows how to do it. So
yeah.
that's been interesting, organic stuff.
Yeah, that's very interesting actually. Is
Yeah,
it
he does like whoever comments last wins this, and this. Like it'll be a training or a course or how to do something like around what he does. And so, of course, anyone interested in winning that thing is a prospect of his, right?
yeah,
And so, then along the way, like he'll run it for like 2 days, 3 days, and he doesn't tell them when he's going to shut it off. But whenever he shuts it off, you have to be the last one to comment, and then that's who wins it. But like and then the way he's doing it, it's real interesting because he's got like little bonus prizes along the way, and then like the one I just saw he released was like a buddy system where you could bring on someone, and either one of you, if you win, you both win. So it's real creative stuff, you
yeah.
know.
That's awesome.
I love learning new strategies, man. I
Me
mean,
too. Me too.
especially if they're bringing, leads or prospects or opportunities. I'm always about learning new things. You know what they say, man. When you stop learning, you start dying.
Exactly. Yep.
You know, so you
Yep.
got to learn, but you also have to be careful in this day and age. You have to at some point stop learning and start applying.
Yeah. That's where I'm at
Right?
now. I spent
Yeah,
so much learning. I'm like, now I just gotta take action. Just I
yeah,
don't.
because that can really stop you from applying. And we've all done it because there's so much information out there now, right? YouTube is full of information. YouTube's information is better than it's ever been,
Yeah.
especially if you're looking for the right stuff. And you can just consume yourself with new information, and then you find yourself really not taking action. But you're like,
Yeah.
oh, I learned something new, I want to do it, but now I need to get confidence, and let me watch four
Yeah.
other videos about it.
Yep. Yep.
And then next thing you know, you're watching video after video. So,
Yep.
anyways, but you have to kind of stop it to start taking action, and then go from there. The best way to learn is taking action. you
Hmm.
know
Yep.
there's nothing wrong with learning on YouTube or courses or anything or even books, but the best way to learn is doing the actions that are part of it, right? So yeah, that's what I would encourage everybody to do. Take action.
That's awesome. Well, that pretty much is it for me. Is there anything last thing you want to say?
No, man, I appreciate it. Man, a great conversation, man. I love the way that this has flowed as more of a conversation than a interview, if you will. I love that. And if anyone's watching that is definitely interested in learning how to do your own ads, create your own ads, go to that website, createyourown.ads.com. And if they can make the next training, it's about an hour long. You walk away with everything you need to know, confident wise, step wise, tool wise, strategy wise, to generate your own leads. And I love making the big promise, and that is that you'll have so many leads, you'll need to build a team if you don't already have one. And so go to the website. It's absolutely free. There is an offer at the end, but I tell you what the offer is up front. So if you don't want to be pitched something, which I do pitch, but I earn that right at the end after I teach you everything. And so if you want to leave before that, you can. You get the opportunity. But really, at the end of that training, you're able to do your own ads, and that's the whole point.
I'll be checking out the website too myself, for
Yeah,
sure.
appreciate it, man.
Yeah, so it was good talking to you, Frank.
Yeah, Brandon, thanks for having me on, buddy.
All right, take it easy.
All right, man.